7 was as dark as 7 p.m. at night. This year, those of us in Adamawa, I think will remember that. That is how bad it is. And if we had the trees planted, then it could have served as windbreakers for us. The issue of, sorry, let me just add this, sir. There is charcoal. We cut trees to make charcoal so that we can cook our food. Now, we can use the trees, the residues of our plants, the farm. We can turn it into charcoal. It's one of the craziest money you can make. If you are patient and you are helping the climate, less trees will be cut down, and then you are making money at the same time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. Round of applause, please, for Doctor. I believe even though the reality of climate change is real, consequences are dire, important we talk about it. Let's not turn a blind eye to it. It's there, it's real. The question is, what do we do about it? And I love solutions given by Doctor. Very simple, concrete steps that you can take within your house, within your extended family, within your friends network, within your school, and that. But if you're also thinking, how can we utilize the opportunity to also get some money? I remember one of the projects I worked in a few years ago that brought in this solar irrigators. So a couple of guys came together, invested their money, and now that the dry season has come, this is where they cash out. They've invested, I think at that time they bought it for about 1.6 million. So now they move it in a truck with their bike, 2 of them. They go to farm by farm by farm. They're there, they open solar panel and irrigate your farm for you. In 45 minutes, they are done. They close it up. They go to the next farm. Each one pays. They don't buy fuel. Maybe the only fuel they buy is the one for their bike. But since I saw your bike now, I'm going to give them that idea so that they go fully green. So that's an opportunity also to utilize the opportunity, you can call it opportunity, that the climate change has brought to actually make you cash. Really, really thrive here because of the weather. It gets really, really hot for the chicks. Isn't that an opportunity? Imagine if you're able to provide a solution for poultry investors that would ensure that their beds remain cool when the temperature is high. You know, go cash out. Think about it. Invest to bring solutions that will make poultry investors happy. One example I can share before I move to Hassan. When I used to do poultry, I don't anymore. I was explaining to some people because of my time. My biggest challenge was kwasan kashin kajun. I had birds in battery cages. But one of the main challenges that I get a lot of staff turnover, that they say sina gajia with bending down to pack the poultry wastes. Because there's a lot. Each row I have about 1,000 birds. So to clean from point A to point B became a challenge. The first innovation was to do the whole style. Long grip. It's curved at the end and we just drag. And it gets to a point, travel to pack. That made it a lot easier. But the one that blew me away was an innovation I saw. Using a machine. Who knows this thing that these people that construct floors use? That is very heavy. That they use to smoothen the floor. Polisher. So, but instead of polishing floor, this one is now moving slowly, but that was awesome. So one person can do the entire 3 pens I had, which saved me money, and at the same time ensure that the beds were kept clean, the pens were clean, free from disease and all of that. And it was a fabricator that did that, a welder that did that in Zaria. So the point is, if you're able to provide solutions for a business, that's money for you. But it requires thinking, requires looking for knowledge, and it requires a skill set, marketing skill set for you to be able to get your customer base. All right, let's come to you, Hassan. Your organization Lead 360. How do you address challenges that young agripreneurs face accessing resources? You know, that's one of the biggest challenges. I was having a side discussion earlier. Someone says, I have a brilliant idea, poultry or livestock or crop production, but my challenge is to access resources. As a mentor, as someone who is an organization that mentors people, what would you say solutions to how young people, especially those in this room, can adopt when trying to access resources?
All right, thank you very much. I'll start by saying resources will always be a challenge, but there are alternatives to that. So if you insist on taking a large scale or a very big business at a time, you should understand that you will be patient throughout that process of getting that big resources. So patience is required at that time. But the first things we try to do, especially when we are doing perspective reframing, is to tell young people that you don't necessarily need to start with the farm work, maybe 5 hectares or 10 hectares or 20 hectares. You can start as a contributor. Now, you don't necessarily have to be the owner of the farm. But if you're providing solutions that help the farm to scale, what it means is you're a partner in the farm. With time, you begin to get more resources that you could start yours. So partnership over competition allows you to have more access to opportunities. So if you want business opportunities in the agro space, you must network and gain partnerships. Partnerships are the most crucial steps to starting any business, especially the agro business. So I was discussing with my twin brother. He's an he read agri-technology and he's currently working with an agri firm. So I said, before I started the firm, so I was like, how do I get into this? And then he said, contribute to my farm. And I was like, so how do I know this is my own profit in the farm? He said, first contribute. Then I'll explain to you how you're going to profit from it. And that some of these contributions I'm talking about does not necessarily means money. It might be the ideas you have. Let me cite an example. There's a friend of mine who is very crafty and arty, yeah? And I told him, can you design a farm implement and let's pitch it? And then he said, fine, that's possible. And then he started designing something. It became so big that we're still working on that because it's big. I thought he would do something simple. But he did something big. These are ways to contribute towards the agro space. There are a lot of us that understand how to, keep certain record of timing, farm schedules, and the rest of it. Some of these big farms do not have the time to deal with that. Can you volunteer yourself to keep to that time? Before you realize, if it is in a poultry business that is big, you would have already had the opportunity to raise funds that could give you seats, or you can even have the space within the poultry farm to train yours or to start yours by the next farming season. So these are opportunities we help open the minds of young people to see, aside just going directly into the farm business. Because if you don't have that resources, getting it. In fact, we tried a series of advocacy, series of meetings, series of negotiations for our cluster farmers to be able to get resources from Bank of Agri, Bank of Industry, and the rest of it. The process has always been difficult. We have tried all we have to do, if not for private partnerships from maybe organizations like Mercy Corps and the rest that can come in with their own program and systems, and then we now cluster farmers and attach them to these places. It's very difficult to get these resources. And then lastly, I would say that the fastest way again for you to start a business and to overcome resource issue is when you come together as a cluster. Clustering helps young people especially to build resources, however little it is, and then be accountable for those resources till that business grow. So accountability is, if I'm the only person starting a business, I'm telling you there is a way I could feel discouraged at some point, and then I'll let the resources go. But if it is a collective action, 10 young people bringing in as small as 5,000 to make 50,000 and start a farm, the accountability will be there. So formalization and clustering is an important step for resource mobilization. Thank you.
Round of applause, please. Very, very wonderful point. And I like the fact that it keeps re-echoing since yesterday. Work together, don't go at this alone. Fatima Buffer, I'm looking at you. Work together, right? If you want to keep going on your own, likelihood that you might get discouraged. I love that point. I have personal experience with that. So thank you very much, Hassan, for that big nugget. Doctor, we've been talking about young people in business, You've been in the game for a while. Have you seen any successful youth-led initiatives that you think is worth sharing with our? It's possible you haven't. If you haven't, please share anyone that you think that is as a result of young people's zeal and interests actually want to do agribusiness and they've been successful at it. Please share your experience with us.
Thank you, sir. One of is the last one I will start with. There are so many that we have mentored and been very well. Some of them are bigger than we are. One of them is here, which is Aliu. And I'm so, anywhere I go, the partnership with Mercy Cup was the one that's why we keep talking about the power of the partnership. When the Mercy Cup came in, partnered, and there is this program we're doing, Community Seed Entrepreneurs. That's another massive place you can make money quietly in your own community, in your own village. You have a mentor. He has the license to produce and market seeds. He trains you, and you use his logo. You produce the seed, he helps you process it, package, put your logo on it, and in your own community, you just sell the seeds. And once the community, 2 people use your seed for that year, the community will see the good effect, and then everyone in that community, you know how village is. If it is good, the whole village will hear it that day after harvest. If it is bad, the information will still go through. That's a very good place you can make good money. Like with him, Aliu Naia, when we met, when Mercy Cup came in, we came up with this program of community seed entrepreneurs at local government level. We started the program, trained them on climate smart agriculture. We also trained them on the seed production. National Seed Council came in, certified them as seed producers, community seed producers. Mercy Corp was so generous, it paid for all those expenses. And today he's a community seed producer. This year he did 40 hectares of maize alone, his group. And apart from, I think they did rice also.
And 40 hectares of seed?
Or of seed, pure seed. That's why I say sometimes maybe I will not call the figures so that he's not attacked.
I already told him I'm coming for a loan.
No, he's capable. That's the passion, the drive.
Ali, you smile, man.
When you are doing something with passion, he's been on this issue. He's never been a farmer. But when Mercy Cup came in, we met him in Mubi, started the journey, and I saw the difference. Despite the fact he has a different ability, he was very different. Everything you give him to do, he always goes an extra mile to do it. And we continued with him, and the next thing I knew, he brought the Widows Association. Now that tells you that he's not a greedy person. He brought the Widows Association in Mubi. They were grounded also. Unfortunately, when we met, it so happened that all the international NGOs, after he has met us now 2 years, all international NGOs working in Nigeria, they always come to look for him. It's beyond what I think. Mercy Corp is here; they can testify to that. Everybody wants to see him and go and see what he's doing. And it's just 2 years. This is the 3rd year we met. It's the 1st year he's working with Mercy Corp. And Mercy Corp has done quite a lot for him, training, capacity building, and so forth. And out of the passion and the lack of greed, he organized all the people with different ability. His secretary is a lady with different ability in Mubi. They have a 3-in-1 computer system in their office. You can visit it in Mubi. He has a laptop. It's only now that he's going back to school. He's in Federal Polytechnic Mubi. Now, I believe that is a good trend of how somebody should move. Now he's making the money. Now he feels that the computer he has to do, he has to learn it. He has a laptop now, and he's working with the laptop. And then now maybe the formal type of education in the classroom, which he so desires, like Bill Gates did, after he has become billionaire or the richest man in the world, going back to school. I think that's a good, perfect example of him. So it's really not only motivating, inspirational. We have one other, Lawal in Lamurde. The same thing now, we've trained him. As Mercy Corp came in, we were able to give him some trainings and build his capacity. And today he's doing, I think, almost at the same level with Aliu in Lafia Lamurde. It's a very big, if you want paddy, you are from Kano, you are from Katsina, you are from Abuja, you want paddy. He farms, he only does dry season, he doesn't do rainy season. He will help you to get the trailers, the ones he has, and from his other colleagues. And people bring in money now for him to do their farms in tens of millions because of the trust. So once we build that, I'm sure the issue of access to finance, as he rightly mentioned, you don't rush to go and look for money. Let money follow you. That is the way to do it. And money will follow you only if you are a professional, even if you like it or not. Like I just read yesterday or the day before yesterday, Elon Musk was given the contract to bring back the International Space Center. With all the scientists in the world, who built it in the space? Because he has built his capacity to the level that the whole entire, is it nuclear, is it whatever, they are relying on him. So that is the way we should build ourselves. So that it's not a question of looking for money now. It's a question of, we need this project done. Who will do it? They will say he's the only one. But you have to build your capacity. It takes time. And as a young person, the funds will come in. It's unfortunate for me that I started late. This is my greatest regret in life. I started late. If I had started much younger, like some of us here, or like Aliu, I don't think the world will be able to hold me back. Because of, it's when you realize the thing you are doing, the passion you have, and you can die for it. Because I told you, my mother rejected me. My brothers, 9 of them and sisters, some of them are very powerful in the country. They rejected me. Nobody gave me a car when I returned from overseas because I want to farm. They said I am mad. You will not believe it today. I'm the one assisting them. That is how, if you hold on to this farming, that is how it will be able to give you and open those opportunities that when names are called, when things are need to be done in the agri sector, you will be the one that will be called upon. I like to talk so much on it because so don't mind.
Understandably,
Thank
please
you.
a round of applause for Doctor. You know, it was like you were sitting with myself and one of the regional champions during this tea break just this afternoon when I was sharing with him, the audience listening to me. Don't go big. Don't go looking for the money. In fact, when I tell people that I mentor personally, the money comes at the tail end. There are a lot of things you put in place first, and the cash comes. Start small. Demonstrate that you have the capacity. Come looking for you. That was exactly what I told him. Find one or two partners. Start small. He's interested in the poultry side. If it's with 50 birds, start. Document it. Put your story together. And once you get to that level, the money will come after you. But you must be patient. You must be very, very patient. That's why there's a whole pot of money called patient capital. You must utilize it while looking for knowledge, while learning at the same time for you to get there. Awesome. I want you to give a roundup, the final message to our audience. What would you advise now? Final takeaway tips for this young, energetic, enthusiastic, and I'm hopefully successful entrepreneurs, agripreneurs. What would you tell them? The final point.
All right. So I would share briefly a story of two persons whom we have engaged with over the past 20 months. The first is a wife and her husband whom desired to go into agro-business and did not have the resources. So they met me trying to see how we could support them to start some business around agri. And then I asked them of their interest. They said perishables. So the budget or the expectation they had was so large. And then we advised. We have seen something in Biu, someone doing powdered tomato. Can you also start from there? Begin to sell or market it, because there's a market system approach at the RRA activity that wants to offtake things like this. Can you start from there? So they accepted. And then they started. Later on, we started supporting them. We supported them again with some few money, and they sold. They started getting encouraged. Then this morning, he called me. He said himself and his wife have been flown to Lagos. They just signed a $4,000 contract, and they are coming back. So that is starting small. That is listening to people that have gone there, have known the way, and will help you show you the way. Again, the second story is one of my close friends. He's a young barrister. And after the engagement we had severally with young people and mentors, he's always close to me, but he has never said anything. Then one day he said, Hassan, I want to do this farming. And I said, just do it. The problem is just taking the step. If you just take the step, you will do it. Last week I was in Lafia, and he said, Hassan, we have 85 bags. And that is it. So my two advices, understand that everything is a process and engage it. And then take the step. That's all. Thank you.
Applause, please. Doctor, same to you. Very clear, succinct points. What advice would you give for our audience?
Thank you, sir. I think Hassan has rightly said it, but I will leave you with two things. One, there is no government, and only believe in yourself. The second thing is, if you've chosen to go into this agric, you are still young. Put yourself in another 5 years to make assessment of yourself. If you are not moving forward, just leave it. Maybe that is not the second one I'm going to talk about, the passion you have. Because if you identify this gift, somebody doesn't go to school to get knowledge about what he will do in life. I always mention it. An agric student finished agriculture and is going to be a cashier in a bank. How can you just imagine what kind of life you are building for yourself? So the passion you have and the belief you have, don't allow the outside world. The Yahoo is so much these days. You see somebody riding a Jeep. If you know where he got that money, I'm telling you, you will not look at the Jeep. Build your own. Build your own. Believe in yourself. Identify that gift and then use the passion to drive it. You will see what you will make in life.
Thank you very much. No, Hawa, please sit down. I will give 2 questions. Oh, okay. I thought you were coming to take the mic away. All right, so we'll take 2 questions. Okay. No female has a question? So we have 1 female in front here and the dude with the glasses behind. Mic here. There's a mic here. So let's start with the lady in front here. Then we can take one from this side.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for the discussion. It was actually insightful. For the seed, doctor, I just want to ask, is this native seed or GMO seeds that you do produce?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for that. And thank you indeed for asking that question. There is something that is happening. It's my field. It's what I studied. It's what I'm practicing. And it's what I will live to die for. I don't agree with GMO. People have used GMO. I have seen it on the farm. It's a terrible, terrible thing to use. For now, when we have developed much further, then we can. Because my own argument is simple. Show me the document scientifically that this thing is not harmful to human beings, and I will produce it. So if you don't show me the document, I might not be able to start producing that. The traditional seed is what I'm producing, is what I believe in. I'm doing it. So if I get the certification, the documents that shows me that this is good, I'll go all the way to do it. That is just my own personal stand on it. As somebody who is in the industry, as somebody who read, it's my area, and it's what I'm practicing. It's just my own personal stand. Thank you.
NABG about GMO has proposed a roundtable for the stakeholders to come and discuss. A lot of people, a lot of farmers find it difficult knowing the difference between improved seeds and GMO. So I don't want to start discussing that.